In 6th grade, everyone in my class was given the name and address of a Japanese pen pal. This being 1977, girls were paired with girls and boys with boys. I was handed Miss Rika Yasuno. God knows what I said to her in my first letter, written enthusiastically and mailed on my own time. I must have sent her a school photo and some drawings of Tingle cows, who were these blobby, pear-headed cartoon characters I had invented. Very on brand. I've always been like that, creative and a little too quick to share, not aware that doing so leaves you vulnerable to attack, especially as you are entering the middle school years. Fortunately for me, Miss Rika Yasuno treated them and me with utmost respect. Drawing me as a Tingle cow, she gave me braids because I guess to her that was more American, and also a schoolgirl uniform just like the one that she was wearing in a manga-influenced self-portrait she included as a placeholder for the blurry photograph that she eventually sent. I was shocked by her age. 14 and 8/12, nearly 3 years older than me. But like me, she was an only child who liked to draw comical people. Other information from that first of nearly 20 letters: her mother operated a beauty salon, and her father was sick, bad in body. This was her first and only mention of his illness. I had forgotten it entirely. It's probable that his illness was so far outside my realm of experience it never registered at all. I remembered the beauty salon, which doubled as the front of the family home, carefully diagrammed for me in a later letter. Rereading that letter some 40 years later, I notice a tiny pictogram in between bad and in body. His liver, maybe? She closed by saying, "I like English, but I can't do English. I am sorry if different English. Let's be good friends in the world." Oh my God, I was thrilled, firing off an immediate reply, after which I had to cross the road to the mailbox multiple times every afternoon to check if there was any mail from Japan. I don't remember receiving word of my college acceptance, but oh, the joy of reaching into that box to find a letter from Rika Yasuno, instantly recognizable thanks to her lightweight red and blue edged airmail envelopes and her perfect printing, a testament, no doubt, to some strictly enforced national penmanship standard. She drew me a diagram of her room, shared her height, weight, optical prescription and measurements: 86, 66, 89. Her favorite band? The Bay City Rollers. Though I was the younger one, she was definitely the one at a disadvantage, struggling to communicate in a foreign language and an unfamiliar alphabet. Back in Indiana, I was hoping to pull off a tone appropriate to a bookish, bored 19th century literary heroine, making twee observations about my cat and simple but well-meaning grandparents. I described my homework as tiresome. No need to cringe. I've been cringing for the last 4 decades. Rika sent presents for Christmas and my birthday, traditionally clad dolls her grandmother folded from paper, and a beautiful red souvenir box filled with candy her family had brought back from Mount Fuji. A little over a decade later, I too would visit Mount Fuji as a grubby backpacker in the company of a boyfriend and his Japan-based best friend, who, go figure, turned out to be the black belt who had imprinted a foot-shaped bruise on my chest in a college karate class several years before boyfriend and I met. What a coinky-dink. It's way too expensive to send presents internationally now. Back in 1977, I lobbied my mother hard to let me order a biography of the Bay City Rollers from Scholastic as a present for Rika. My mom had a lot of concern for appearances and propriety. What would Rika's nice family think of these shaggy, unzipped Scottish rockers in their tight sweaters and those pants? In my mother's opinion, The Bay City rollers were not very nice. You know what's nice? Giving gifts that make the recipient feel seen. I was sheltered and young for my age. I would never be able to match Rika's teeny bopper obsessions, but come on, give me some points for trying. I don't know Barry Manilow or Captain and Tennille, she wrote, and then used a whole page of Ziggy stationery to list who she did know. Bay City Rollers, Kiss, Beatles, George Ross, Who, Robert Redford, Al Pacino, Clint Eastwood, Alain Delon, Olivia Fussy, Dustin Hoffman, James Dean, Bruce Lee, Marilyn Monroe, Jodie Foster, Tatum O'Neal, Olivia Newton-John, Elton John, Tanya Tucker, John Denver, Carpenters, Suji Quattro, Wings, Queen, and Angel. She introduced me to such Japanese phenomena as earthquakes, school year schedules that started in April, the emperor's birthday, and the Day of Children. And she repeatedly advocated for classmates who were waiting in vain for follow-up replies from my deadbeat counterparts. Miss Higashi and Miss Kobayashi are very, very waiting. I don't know if I shared with her that nearly all of my old friends dropped me in 7th grade, or that my dad moved out while I was on vacation with my grandparents. Either I kept that information to myself, or one of her letters is missing. She did acknowledge another of 7th grade's tragedies, one the adult me had long ago forgotten. Why Simpkin died. I'm sorrowful that to hear it. I hateful that car. Check out the cartoon steam bursts. I must have covered the accident and the new baby in one letter. Only once did I feel judgmental, or more accurately, mortified by Rika's understandably imperfect command of English. I never write English well, but I want to intercourse all the time. Rika's last letter was forwarded from my old address. My mother, stepfather, and I had moved north of Indianapolis the summer before my freshman year. Or rather, I went to sleepaway camp. They got married and moved. And I got a whole new house and room I could have diagrammed for Rika. I was now 14 and a half. And she was still 3 years older, sad because it was her last year of school. She was mourning the loss of friends she wouldn't get to see on a daily basis once she started beauty school. Rather than wallow, she characteristically pivoted to cultural exchange, educating me as to some crucial differences between American, French, and Japanese beauty parlors. For example, in Japan, man's customer is often coming there. It is very interesting. That was it. My last update from Rika Yasuno. God, I hope I wrote back. That mine was the final letter of our long correspondence, that I didn't bail on her during a significant period of transition. For me too. I hope she met a nice man's customer. Imagine if we had never lost touch. You think she's still living behind a beauty parlor in Shinanyo City? Dear Rika, I hope this letter finds you well. I have a new cat. His name is Mungo. I wish we had intercoursed all the time.